Hello Internet, and welcome back to my series of film reviews. Throughout the last half of 2022, I decided to do reviews for a few movies that came out that year that were brand new. But in some rare instances, I'll be doing movies from yesteryear, starting with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark has always been one of my favorite movies in my youth. It was originally released in June 12, 1981 under Paramount Pictures. It is the beginning of the Indiana Jones franchise of films. I first saw this film when I was 12 years old back in 2008, right around the time Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull first released. It was right around the same time we got LEGO Indiana Jones The Original Adventures, which I got for the PS2, and managed to 100% complete. Same with the first LEGO Batman video game. In honor of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I decided that I was going to review each and every one of the Indiana Jones movies, from Raiders of the Lost Ark all the way to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But I will have Sonic and Shonik do a spoiler review of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I'm going to do the exact same thing with the Mission Impossible movies, leading up to Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. But I'm going to be doing Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 in the style I'm doing right now with the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Same with the other Mission Impossible movies. But if there's another old movie that you want me to take a look at, be it 1989 Batman, or Pulp Fiction, or The Shining, or Clockwork Orange, or Blade Runner, or Top Gun, or Jurassic Park, or Dances with Wolves, or Back to the Future, or Dr. No, or Dirty Harry, or Gone with the Wind, or Rebel Without a Cause, or Casablanca, please let me know. I'm open to suggestions from the audience. After all, I did take a film history class in college, where I studied various movies like Snow White, Modern Times, The Wizard of Oz, Toy Story, Casablanca, It's a Wonderful Life, On the Waterfront, Rebel Without a Cause, Rear Window, Psycho, The Graduate, Annie Hall, Bonnie and Clyde, E.T., Jaws, Jurassic Park, and a few others. So if there are any older movies that you would like me to take a look at, please let me know in the comments below. But anyway, back onto Raiders of the Lost Ark. I would imagine that a lot of people have seen this movie at this point, so I don't think anyone would mind if I give away a few spoilers. Indiana Jones is synonymous with action-adventure, and is a Hollywood icon. He's played by none other than Harrison Ford, and River Phoenix in the opening scene of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and Sean Patrick Flannery in Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. But Indiana Jones is Harrison Ford's most iconic role since Han Solo in the Star Wars movies. He's never seen without his iconic fedora hat, his bullwhip, or his revolver. And he's afraid of snakes. Add that to the list of Achilles' heels for beloved heroes. Superman has kryptonite, Bucky Barnes has the Winter Soldier code words, Venom has loud noises, Sonic the Hedgehog has water, and Indiana Jones has snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Every Indiana Jones movie, except for Dial of Destiny, is directed by Steven Spielberg, and they are scored by the legendary John Williams. The Raiders March is one of the most memorable movie themes in history. Every time the first four notes hit, it brings me back to my youth. And that's what the first trailer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny did. The opening scene in Peru where Indy is exploring the temple and looking for the Golden Idol is one of the most iconic scenes in film history, and is often parodied in other works, particularly when the temple begins to crumble and he's being chased by a rolling boulder. Exploring the temple with Indy is a useless side character named Satipo, played by Dr. Otto, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand, Octavius himself, Alfred Molina. Fun fact, that was actually Alfred Molina's very first film appearance. So Satipo backstabs Indy, and Indy escapes with the idol, only to have it stolen by arch-rival Renee Belloc, played by Paul Freeman. We later see that Indy is an archaeology professor at a university, and his love interest is Marion Ravenwood, played by Karen Allen, who reprises the role in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But I really don't think we're going to see her in Dial of Destiny. Marion owns a bar in Nepal, where she's often visited by Major Arnold Tote, aka the motherfucker who gets his face melted off by the power of the Ark, an image that scarred my 12-year-old mind. It still scars me to this day, although not so much now. So it's a race against time for Dr. Jones because the Nazis are after the Ark of the Covenant. Oh, I forgot to mention that this movie takes place in 1936, when the Nazis were on the rise. So Indy and Marion then make it to Cairo, where they are met by an old friend, Sallah, played by John Rhys Davies, who is also known for playing Gimli in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. He will be reprising his role in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Fun fact about the iconic sword versus gun scene. There was supposed to be a long, elaborate fight scene between Indy and the swordsman, but Harrison Ford was feeling really sick from dysentery, so he improvised the scene where he pulls out his gun and shoots the swordsman dead. I know, horrible, right? But Harrison Ford and Steven Spielberg did what they had to do. So after they find the Ark hidden in the Well of Souls, a place crawling with poisonous snakes, much to Indy's horror, the Nazis retrieve it. Then we get some pretty disturbing images involving snakes and dead corpses, as well as one of the bad guys being shredded by a plane propeller. Keep in mind, folks, this is rated PG. The PG-13 rating didn't come to be until 1984 with the release of Red Dawn, And Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade was the first Indiana Jones film to be given a PG-13 rating. And let's not forget the ending when the Ark is open, releasing a legion of ghosts, flames, and bolts of lightning that kill everyone looking into the Ark. Not to mention shrinking heads, melting faces, and an exploding head that will make the boys look like Paw Patrol in comparison. I'm giving Raiders of the Lost Ark a 10 out of 10. Ever since its first release in 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark has paved the way for the action-adventure genre as a whole, and everything about it still holds up to this day. Present-day filmmakers often look to Raiders of the Lost Ark for inspiration. Spielberg wanted to modernize the serial films from back in the day, and the result was a film that featured non-stop action, thrills, and danger around every corner. Nowadays, the action heroes that people most associate with the action genre are John Wick, Jason Bourne, and Ethan Hunt. But back in the 80s, it was not only James Bond, but also Indiana Jones. Stay tuned for my upcoming review of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, as well as all other film reviews I have planned. And if there's an old movie that you'd like me to tackle, please let me know in the comments below. Until then, this is David the Wolf Boy signing off.